But in Common Ground World, we farm for a greater cause, saving the planet one soil patch at a time. Build an eco-friendly town, leveraging regenerative agriculture and recover valuable soil. Compete in weekly competitions to earn great prizes. Get rewarded for helping to support our ecosystem and your fellow farmers. Eager to learn more? Well, head on over to Gala Games and start playing now.
Good morning.
Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hey, Ninja Surprise. Hey, Farmer Michelle. Happy Town Hall Day.
Yes, happy Town Hall Day.
Well, for anybody who is new to this, welcome. This is for February 9th. We've been doing this for about a year and a half, and we are text chatting with you on YouTube comments, of course, and especially in Discord. So if you're on YouTube and you're watching it, be sure to click like and subscribe. Turn on notifications so that you don't have to ask if the town hall has started or not. And let's see, get a little feedback from One Todd Giant. Kick-ass video. Thanks, man. I can't take credit for it, but I will. So what are we up to today? Who we got in chat? Who are you seeing? Farmer Michelle, see Math, the Captain, Epic Name, Lazy Lumberjack, No Free Lunch, of course. Moise.
Yep. It's like pick name 3. Gronk this mom.
Where is
Edie Lugs
Rod?
this year.
There's Dubstep Rod. All right. Nice. Hey now from Dub. All right. Well, so we've been doing this for about a year and a half. We always say hi to new faces and regulars, and we're here to talk about the game and provide updates and talk a little bit about just crypto in general, I think, sometimes. So be sure to share the video with your friends, and there's a link and a description, and all this stuff's always pinned. The channel is too. So, Michelle, where do we get these questions? Where are they pulled from?
Right from there's a question form. I put it in the announcements yesterday. I try to usually do it on Wednesday, but somehow I managed to miss it this Wednesday.
Okay.
But I do post it every week. I will throw it in the chat again right now, just in case anyone needs it.
Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. I know a little bit about our upcoming headlines, but do you have any news here about our white paper, anything like that?
I did get an update on the light paper today. I heard that it went through legal review, and there is some stuff they want us to change. So now we're going to go through and change some stuff real quick, and then it'll have to go back through legal review again. But it's only a couple of small things that needed to change, so it should be a much quicker process this time around. And then we'll get Bitbender to look at it again, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Nice.
So it is making progress. We're moving forward in the right direction.
Yeah. Can confirm. I was peeping at it this morning and seeing legal's notes. Let's see. How about rewards? Any updated info on those?
Yeah, some rewards went out. I believe yesterday the rewards from the last event went out. Also, the monthly storage rewards went out. That was for the jewelry storage for playing in January. Those went out. I don't know if the Zeely rewards went out or not. I think they were supposed to, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't think they did because there were some people that were telling me that they didn't get the rewards yet.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. So I will look into that after this town hall ends, and we'll find out where they are and get those sent out also.
Nice. Okay. And how about that Zeely stuff, Mr. Ninja?
Yeah. So pretty much, as you heard from Michelle, the Zeely rewards are gonna hopefully go out next time. It doesn't seem like they got sent out yet, so hopefully next time they will be going out. I've been seeing some really cool stuff from you guys, so we want to reward the top 25 people that have been really participating the most. But yeah, I mean, also I really want to showcase the works that people have been doing with the Zealy and just with the content that you guys have been creating as well. So be sure to tweet out to us or post it if you haven't. And there's even Zealy quests that you guys can claim for some extra XP. If you didn't know this already, that you can get some extra XP for sharing on Twitter. Be sure to use the Common Ground World hashtag, hashtag CGW, or tag us, tag the account so I can find it, and then I can retweet it on our end. Additionally, too, we actually had a little bit of fan art that was done by Mr. Trupa, and he actually drew the chicken actually on I think like a tablet. He did this, and I was like,
Nice.
it's really nice. Yeah,
That's
Love it.
awesome.
he actually drew a little chicken. So yeah, he submitted this, and I wanted to just highlight that. So yeah, thanks for actually doing this by hand apparently. So thanks for doing this for us. And yeah, if you guys want to submit some other fan art to us, be sure to do so through the Zealy, and I'd love to showcase some more of it.
Yeah, that's great. How fun.
Yeah, I love that. Love that so much.
All right. Well, I want to brag about my kid but I'll just say that she's brag worthy, and then we'll move on for her art. Okay. Well, let's do some game updates. We got features and fixes as usual, and I'll go over the features first. So the big thing we're working on right now is guilds. The UI is coming along nicely. Good back and forth between our UX people, of course, our game designers, and of course the devs. And we're getting that ready for a QA to test pretty early, actually. As we say, this isn't really due out till about the end of Q1, but we're wanting to make sure that all the UI is snappy and nice to use and doesn't have any silly bugs. For example, the officers, the members, and the leader of a guild all have different abilities, as you'd imagine, right? A leader could kick out an officer, but an officer cannot kick out another officer. Equal ranks can't, whatever. So yeah, so we're far enough along that we're starting to find a couple implementation bugs there. So we fixed that. Officers were able to kick out other officers. That's kind of a small thing, but it shows a little bit in how far along we're coming. Did the guild library, the members UI, the tab for that, and the guild management UI. So typical tabbed interface. I don't have any visuals for you yet because it's still very. I don't know if you guys have ever seen what developers, the visuals that come out of our hands, but it's not good. So what we do is we make it work first, and then the art team makes it pretty. So that's going on, and that has all the tabs like logs, members, library, and so on. And I mentioned this last week, but in case you missed it, there will be an icon picker when you're defining your guild. And you might think like, well, hold on, I wanted to upload a picture of my grandma because she's so cool and whatever. We're not going to let you do that just yet because of internet, but maybe one day we'll do like a custom icon with approval process. We know it's important to get your brand out there, right? Your NLOs and TSMs and dubs and MAFs. So eventually, but right now what we're going to do is provide you with a lot. I think it's right now it's like 48 or so custom little icons to set your guild to. So that picker's in progress. And then the backend team, of course, has to make all this work for us front end guys. So the more integration and unit tests. Anybody who's listening that's a dev or works on any kind of technology, you probably know how important that is, right? Doing those tests. So that's about guilds. Let's see, what's in code review? We don't normally like to talk about stuff until it's like ready, but NFT checkout prompt. So if you're in a guild and your guild leader put an NFT in the guild library, the prompt where you say like, oh, I want to use that. And I say this every week, but just in case you didn't listen last week, that's not a chain thing. That's pure game data. And that's intentional on our part. Now we love the Gala chain. We're going to use it for all sorts of things this year. But this is non-ownership action, so it's completely free, and it's just the game data. So when the guild leader puts an NFT in the library, he's not losing control of that NFT. Just something to keep reiterating kind of every week. We added more admin endpoints and stuff like that. And that's about it for the guild's features. Let's see. Anybody? Could guild leaders submit icons? Well, yeah, maybe. So it's all about trust, right? But that's a good point. You're saying ahead of time, could they? I don't know. We'll see. We added some more bot detection for anti-cheating, and we added a little more log inspection. So that's kind of an iterative arms race, right? And just a quick word about daily challenges. That's still, of course, for Q2 of this year. Still working on that. Pretty exciting to see the tech that'll go into that. And I think the art team has come up with some interesting new takes on some of the cards, if you want to call them that the One Odd Gent has made for us. So we'll see how those turn out. If they want to share some spoilers about that, maybe next week. So that was a lot. I didn't realize there was that much to say, but yeah, a lot of the features is guild stuff. Fixes, of course, this goes live. Whenever we do go live, we share this with you all, anything that's public facing. Again, it's mostly data fixes every week. We're really happy with where the code is on this project, and we're really happy that most of the bugs we find are just data related. So some of those, for example, are the farmer and the tractor worker. They have the correct building data. The express peer, it was missing labor costs. That's been fixed. Bamboo meta value, it's been fixed. Apple price fixed. Tomato icon was off for some reason. There were the jewelry storage. I know jewelry is such a polarizing topic. Some people love it, some people hate it, whatever. But there were some missing crafts, and that's been fixed. Let's see, some NFT fixes. Hasty glass maker. There was a missing buff effect. There needed to be Apple storage on the farmer and tractors, and on their work list. And Nona's craft was missing the craft reduction effect. So that was a lot of data fixes. And when we do data to live, we will share that with y'all. So goodness, that's features and fixes. What's up next? Farmer Michelle.
Let's see here. What's coming up next for the game? Do we want to jump
Oh.
into Q&A?
Yeah, let's do some Q&A.
Nice.
First one's for you. When is it going to be earning play to earn? It's been a long time. Please be explicit. Thank you.
Yeah, we have a roadmap right in the pins. It's been there since, let me see if I can find it here. It's been in there since December 8th, so it's been in there for a while. That says when earning is supposed to go live, which is in Q2, I believe. Yep, Q2. So it's definitely not coming up real soon, but we've got to get the guilds and the nodes done, and then we've got to get daily challenges and all of that framework built up and into the game, and then we can get earnings back in live. So Q2, as we get closer to there, we'll probably have a more exact timeline for when that stuff will go live. But right now our focus is on the guilds and the nodes and all that, so we don't have like an exact date for earning, but that is the plan for Q2, and that was when we're going to focus on it.
Yeah, that's true. We had a question from a returning player. Said, I've been away from the game for a long time now. What's the best way to get my head around the current state of the game?
Well, I guess it would depend on how long you've been away for. I mean, so much has happened since May. I think May was when we launched on Godot, right before May Mayhem of this year, and the game changed drastically right around then. If you haven't been around since then, I suggest probably heading over to the CGW videos channel and maybe watching some videos from some players of how the game kind of runs now. Really, the biggest changes to the game are the way placement of things work, because there's no, and it's not a 16 by 16 grid anymore. There's like subtiles, so that's something you have to be kind of cognizant of when you're building your town. I think the biggest change for people when they first came back after only playing on the Play Canvas version was just the way to place things. Instead of clicking on the town first, you go to your inventory and then drag a building around. I apologize for my voice. I'm a little bit sick. That was really it for big gameplay changes. Most of the stuff is the same. The way proximity works is all still the same. Pathing is pretty close to the same way it used to. And I mean, the game in general is mostly the same game. It's just uh, a lot of stuff like placement that's really different.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask in the chat. If you're coming back after a long break, the people in the chat are super nice. Everyone will help you out. You can always send me a DM as well. I usually respond to DMs pretty quickly. I try to check them every morning when I wake up.
Yeah. And we don't have any fun Easter eggs in there yet. I really wanted something like if you stopped production at 1337 cash or something, little deal with it dog would show up, or elite script kitty. I don't know. But there's no Easter eggs. Some people are asking about that as well, and we don't really have any Easter eggs built in.
No, but that would be fun to do.
Oh man. Let's see. Oh, Nubra had a question about what you said. Pretty close pathing, Smiley. Yeah, it's a completely different engine, Nubra, so we're relying on the engine for the pathing, and we know there are bugs in that. So there weren't any questions about that this week, but people do ask about it a lot, like, hey, my farmer's walking alongside the road. We know it's on our to-do list. Yeah, it's part of the engine, so. Let's see, next question is for Michelle. I don't understand, this person asks, the renaming to Common Run World. It's been 4 months now, and all we have to connect this to the movie is a new game mode and the game title itself. Have there been any benefits that we don't see from the community side? It feels a little unnecessary.
I mean, all I can really say about that is that it has only been 4 months. I know 4 months may seem like a long time, but in like the grand scheme of things, 4 months for a partnership is pretty short. We've got a lot of work to do on that new game mode still. All we really did was launch like a bare bones version of it, and then kind of moved on to other promises like guilds and nodes and earnings and stuff. And once we get through all of that stuff and get the game up and running, get earning going, get the guilds and the nodes going, then we can start focusing again on adding some more fun stuff to that Common Ground World mode, which is, like I said, just a bare bones version of a game right now. And then we can start doing some marketing and stuff, and we'll just go from there. But yeah, 4 months it's really not that long of a time. So
Yeah.
just be patient.
It's
stick
8
around for the ride.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Question about rewards. Is it possible to get the rewards before the next competition? It would allow us to spend them in the store as we get reach for them. Yeah. Can we get rewards before the next one?
We certainly try our best to do that. Sometimes they go out, sometimes they don't. The actual distribution part is out of our team's hands. So we do set them up as soon as we can on Monday morning, and then we just kind of wait around for them to get sent out. So there's not much we can do in terms of when exactly they get sent out. A lot of times they get stuck in the queue behind other tasks for the node team, or the distribution team. So we do try our best to do that, and we do a pretty good job at getting them out before the next competition most of the time.
Yeah. The next one.
Oh, it looks like the next one's for you. It says, when town that can run up to 60x speed has zero cost to build, no wages, please take a vote and have this prioritized over everything else.
I definitely get where you're coming from, right? Like, if you had a town that ran super fast and you could experiment with builds and adjust the speed timer like our legendary SK does in QA, that would be really neat. But like every other feature, it has to fall in line with all of our past promises. So maybe one day casual mode will have maybe we'll have a super casual mode or a try before you buy mode. We don't know.
A super casual mode.
Yeah. Yeah, something, like where, well, there's been debate, right? So like on one hand, we're like, well, what if we had a mode where you could try out literally every NFT in the game? That would be kind of fun. And the other would be, well, what if we had a mode where you could try out the 3 NFTs that we pick from week to week in a mode? But I get it, right? Like you guys want to make sure that your strategy's good, and you don't want to wait forever to do that. So it's in the list. We just gotta fulfill our promises first. Next one is quite quite involved. This is about salty fields. Can we develop a shrimp farm NFT? I've come to the conclusion that blah, blah, blah. Start jam right away, blah. Is this feasible? Farmer Michelle, shrimp farm NFT.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. We don't have one in the plans currently, but I can certainly check with our PM and see what he thinks about it. Maybe we can get one out there for you.
All right.
I mean, we certainly are always looking for NFT suggestions. If there's something you guys want, let us know exactly what it is, and we can figure out how to make it happen. I know I was in the chat, I think Friday, talking about NFTs with a bunch of people, so always feel free to tag me or throw suggestions at me for NFTs that you're interested in, and we'll figure it out for you. All right, let's see what this next question says. Please address the plan for earnings to come in a little more detail.
Oh, well, you're in luck. I can do that. So there's two ways to earn, right? We know right now we can do the competitions. You can earn Gala. And then when we do our daily challenges, you're going to earn dirt. And that dirt is going to be paid out nightly, just like we did before, right? And the way that'll go is pretty much just like it did before. There will be a daily challenge you have to meet, like, harvest this or sell that. At the time, they're probably all going to be sale related, but we might have rushes where it's all about harvesting and doesn't matter if you throw things away. But right now, it'll be sale based and complete your challenge. And then if you have earning NFTs, you place those down. That's a game mechanic that people wanted to preserve, was like, well, I own these NFTs, but they're not part of my strategy. But I do want credit for them, So it's got to be in your town and placeable. You place them, you hit, I completed my challenge, hooray. And then you're queued up for a distribution that night. So that's how it worked before, and roughly, right? And that's how we're going to do it again. So hope that answers your question. On a related note, they're asking Farmer Michelle, hey, Farmer Michelle, why aren't there activities to attract new players that give away Gala?
Well, I mean, we did some of that in May of last year when we did May Mayhem. There might be a May Mayhem this year. I don't know. It's too far away to really plan for that yet. That's usually when we do our big pushes. There aren't any currently, I think, because a lot of times they get abused. So we kind of tend to not do them. People, people will make multiple accounts and try to farm Gala tokens, and we don't want that at all. So it's hard to do those types of things like referral events and all that. So that's why there aren't any currently. When we do them, they have to be watched really closely, and it takes a lot of work to make sure that it's not being abused. But like I said, once we get the game going and we get earnings back in and we get the daily challenges up and we get the guilds and the nodes done and all of that and everything is settled, we'll likely do some type of, marketing and all that. And there may be some way to attract new players to give away Gala. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have a reward month for the entire year?
I don't have a list for you for the entire year. The one for January of this year was the jewelry storage, which just went out. The one for February is going to be an apple storage. I do know what the next one is, but I'm not going to tell you yet because it's more fun that way. We do things like quarterly at a time, so I do know what everything is for this quarter, but I don't know what everything is for the next quarter yet because it's all still being planned. I guess we could consider sending out a quarterly list once we have it ready, if that's something you guys would like to know. I think it's more fun to leak them out as we go, though.
Yeah,
but that could just be my personal opinion.
Yeah, and you don't want 9 months ago's decision to limit what you can do for holidays and whatever, right? Somebody new gets hired and they have great ideas. You don't want to be like, sorry, we can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes things do change because new fun ideas come up and we're like, oh, we need to do that now. That's an awesome idea. And then schedules get pushed around and changed. So it's hard to plan super far in advance.
How about oh, this one's for me. Well, when will we get
yeah, you got it.
When we get a leaderboard that updates in real time, all that you stinky devs gave us was a real time plus fast forward. Well, yeah. So we added fast forward because not everybody has power or electricity. Sorry, power or not everybody has electricity or internet access 24 hours a day. And we felt like it was kind of a limitation of the game that you had to stay connected to make progress. Fast forward was a significant lift. You know, it did not launch with 0 bugs for sure, but we're really proud of it, and I think it's a really cool solution. And then what the person's referring to in this question is like, well, when somebody's offline for 5 hours and they come back, their leaderboard position's going to jump forward 5 hours. So how do I know? The TLDR, the short answer, is sometime in October to November. It relies on a lot of back end processing, and we have to be super careful about touching people's towns and determining, you know, if you're online or offline, or did you just get disconnected, and is it trying to save an old town? And there's a lot of edge cases that, as a player, you really are free from the burden of having to think about those things. So it just has to follow the other stuff. Has to follow guilds, earnings, and upgradable NFTs. Let's see. LV Postman, are you in the competition? Why not? I kind of have mixed feelings on that. Like, as a Gala employee, I'm allowed to compete. And I'm not very good. So, so I enjoy it. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a little, it's hard. So next question. Let's see. Friday sliding took away a big part of it. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, overall, like, yeah, of course, guys, we want the leaderboard to be as instant as possible, but it just has to follow the other features. When keybind for deleting scrubs and so on. Well, I know you don't want no scrub, but it's in the
Thank
queue.
you for that.
uh, man, how many seconds can you legally quote sample for educational purposes for
I don't know.
Anyway, it's in the queue. It wouldn't be that hard, but we have to be laser focused on our promises. So I personally am I use Vim. I don't know if you guys know VI and Vim. I'm extremely key driven, and even I am not able to overcome our process of priority and focusing on promises. So last one, oh, it's about clicking through. Yeah, that's an annoying bug. It is. But like everything else, it's got to follow guilds and everything. So yeah, sorry it annoys you. It annoys me too sometimes.
We'll get there though.
Yeah.
We just got to be patient.
Let's see. There's some other. So that was all of our questions.
Yeah, I got one more that I found in the forum this morning that I can answer. It says, why don't you think about change the competition date to Friday? I was actually in the chat yesterday talking to some people about this. We do have a quarterly poll that we send out in a survey, which I will send out today. It's ready now, so I'll make sure it gets sent out right after this town hall ends. And in there is a choice to choose like what day of the week you prefer the competition to start on and what time you prefer it to start on. We still are doing weekdays, not weekends. That way the team is here and ready in case something does go wrong, since we are still in beta and the game is still pretty young. So it'll be a weekday. And but the times and all that are all up to you guys. So we'll put the poll out, and whatever gets the most votes is what we'll stick with, which is what we've always done. Consistently, it's always been Tuesday at noon. People just I think people have adjusted their work schedules and their sleep schedules to fit that, since some people have been playing for like close to 3 years now. So they're just used to it. So those same people will probably continue to vote the same time. But you never know. We'll have to see when the poll comes out what the results look like.
Jetty says nobody wants to spend Friday night to play Townstar. I actually have a Townstar Twister map that I've printed up for the living room. No? So let's see. That was all of our Q&A ahead of time. Live Q&A. Got some of these. Had issues with Coco being removed from AutoCell. That's been fixed. One person turned off lumber and then went away. Yep.
Do we have any live questions out there before we move on to leaks and competition info?
Ooh, when will we get airdrops of the Gala chain versions of our ERC 20 NFTs? Of existing ones?
You have to bridge them yourself. If you already own an Ethereum based NFT, you're going to have to bridge it over to Gala chain yourself. If it was in your treasure chest, we did that whole allowance process. It's like a month, maybe 2 months ago. I forget, time is going by so fast. And you can do that allowance process yourself, and that is free. But if it's already on the Ethereum network, you'll have to, migrate it to Gala chain yourself. That will cost an Ethereum gas fee to do that.
Yep. Okay. Updates regarding Townstar Node NFTs. As far as I know, it's work in progress. That's one of the things I know our exec team is reviewing right now. We do quarterly stuff, and I get to focus on technology, so I am not part of that. So I don't have any details for you, Vulture, but I know that it's a work in progress.
Yep. Last I heard was that it got moved to like the middle of February, which should be coming up soon. So hopefully we'll get another update, hopefully by next week, since next week is the middle of February. So I will let you know more as soon as I find out more. The utility for them probably won't go live in the middle of February, so there's really no rush to get the NFTs actually figured out. So they've got extra time to kind of make sure it's working properly, and they know exactly what they're doing, and everything has been tested. So.
The captain wants to hear about the sale.
Oh, well, we can skip the competition info, move on to the sale, and then go back to the competition info.
Sure.
All right.
Let's be crazy.
Let's jump around. So the sale this week is the Tunnel of Love NFT. It's an epic NFT. I think some people have already seen it. I know I saw some in the chat already. I'll see if I can grab a picture for you quick. That is going to do a 50% craft speed boost just to Valentine's Day cards, which, even though we skipped the meta, is what the meta is going to be this week. So you'll be making Valentine's Day cards for Valentine's Day. It's also going to give a 3-2-1 passive water, kind of like that would be like a rare water tower. So it'll give 3 radius of passive water, and it's going to give a 10% craft speed boost to Eco Paper. Both of those are made in the stationery shop. There's going to be 300 in the store. It's going to cost $300, and that'll be live later today at 2 p.m. my time, 11 a.m. Pacific time. So 2.5 hours or so. $300, 300 in the store, 50% craft speed boost Valentine's Day cards, 3 passive water, and a 10% craft speed boost to Eco Paper. I'll get that full announcement out after this town hall ends as well.
That's pretty cool. The passive water. It's nice.
Yeah, and it doesn't cast shade or anything, so the craft speed boosts, I believe, are global. Let me just double check. It would make sense that they would be. Yeah, and they stack with themselves, so if you buy more than one, you can put them wherever they want. Use them as a little fountain.
Oh.
And it'll give you a boost.
So for people who might not know about that feature, does that mean if I buy 2 of them and I have them side by side, that the tiles around those 2 will have 6?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful looking NFT. It's pretty cute.
Oh man, I love our art team. They come up. I wish you guys could see their like work in progress stuff a little more often. It's so cool to see it go from a sketch to what it looks like in Blender to what it looks like in Godot and finally in game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about the competition info?
Yeah, let's move on to that. So this next competition, as I just said, is Valentine's Day cards. Yes, Dubstep Rod. The craft time boost does stack. So this week we're making Valentine's Day cards. They're going to be point boosted. GM is going to stay cash boosted, and lumber is going to be cash boosted at 5,000 instead of 1350, and GM will be at 60,000 instead of 25,000. Red envelopes and honey are returning to normal. Bamboo shoots is also going to stay cash boosted up to 2,000 instead of 400. The biome this week, I believe, is forest. Let me just double check that though. The Valentine's Day card, the craft timers for them are 300 seconds. The standard star points are 8,400, and the standard cash is $90,640 each. The craft ingredients for that are 3 eco paper, a glue, and an enchanted object. So it's 1 glue, 1 enchanted object, and 3 eco paper.
Huh, just like we did in grade school.
Yeah, you used enchanted objects in grade school.
We did, yes.
Nice.
Tube of glitter.
It is a 2 gas meta this week, so anybody who doesn't have an express depot or an express pier will have to use 2 gasoline to do each sale. That's going to be 60 seconds for those people and 30 seconds and 1 gas for anybody with an express depot or an express pier. There is no desert edge. I saw some people asking, I think yesterday, if there was desert, so it'll be slow silica for everybody, unless you've got a silica stand. And I think that's all I have about the meta. Does anyone have any questions?
Can we get a 50% Valentine's Day discount like last year?
I don't believe there are any plans to do any big sales for Valentine's Day this week. I haven't heard or seen anything about any big sales for Valentine's Day.
What's the fourth side? Lexil asks.
The edges for this week's biome are North Forest, East Forest, South River, and West Mountain. I'll throw that in the chat so everybody can see it. I see there's a lot of demand for a Sandy NFT. I did bring that up this morning with our PM. So we'll see if we can get some of that for you. See a question that says, can we please stop metas that include potteries and bees? Out of the last 10 competitions, 8 had potteries in them. They won't all have potteries and bees in them. I mean, we're going to go through phases when we do new content. Like right now we're doing stationery, and they do have glue, so you will need honey, and you will need bees. Just like some weeks we're doing pies for 3 weeks in a row, and there's going to be a lot of sugar, and then everybody complains about sugar for a few weeks. It'll be all right. The next round of content, I don't believe, has any honey in it, so you'll survive with honey for another week. Does anybody have any other live questions out there?
Oh, I have one. Are we allowed to do that? Yeah, actually.
Yeah, sure.
So I know we were trying to backport our, if you want to use that word, ETH NFTs in the store, so that they're purchasable, the older ones purchasable on Gala chain. Have you gotten any insight into that from Michelle? Like, is there a progress meter? Is there certain NFTs we'll just never do that for?
I believe it all went live earlier this week. I think I made an announcement on, let me see here, the 7th. So is that 2 days ago?
Oh.
Yep. So I think they're all, I think so. I feel like the 5-pack of paved roads had some issues, but for the most part, they all should be off of the Ethereum network and onto Gala chain now, so you can buy them directly from the store right on Gala chain. They should all have credit card options as purchase options. They should also have Gala chain based Gala as a purchase option as well. If you do see any issues with any of them, let me know. But they should be good to go. So you're welcome, guys.
Nice. Okay. Let's see. I heard a voice in my head telling me that there were questions, but I didn't hear the other part of that. Okay, we have a new question.
I see Lexel says that there's no mountain in this picture in the leak in the announcement, and there actually is. If you look at the very bottom of the right corner, there's the peak of a mountain. That is your mountain edge. You can see it. It's there. I made sure it was there.
Andy on YouTube is asking, is there any way to have proximity effects listed in the info from the in-game store? Yeah, there's a lot of love we need to give to all sorts of the UI. And that's one of it, is rethinking how do we communicate the tech tree, like if you want to build gasoline and you're a new player and you don't know all the stuff you need, as well as, if I place this thing, what is it going to do? Yeah. Currently, the answer is no. There is not a way to have proximity effects listed. But I think if you are in Discord, Farmer Michelle might be able to link you to a guide, or it might even be pinned in the CGW discussion channel.
Yeah, there's the playbook that Dubstep Rod has made. That's right in the FAQ channel if anyone wants it. It's a great reference for anybody who's new to the game. He spent a lot of time working on it, and it's got all the info you could ever possibly need right in there. So if you're looking for info on the game, definitely open that document up and check it out. It's amazing. So thank you, Dubstep Rod, for all of the hard work that you did making that for everybody.
And it looks good too. Like it's a really nice web app.
Yeah, it's easy to use. I know I use it.
Mm-hmm.
We will look at getting that type of information into the game at some point. I know that the first time user experience is not that great right now, but we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. Dubstep Rod with the smiley. Put a little heart there. I think that's it, right? Unless you're going to talk about... nope, that was it for the live Q&A.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about, so if we don't have any other live questions... Again, I'm going to post that quarterly survey here right after the town hall ends, so make sure you take it. It'll be up for probably a month or so. I'll leave it up through the rest of the quarter, and then we'll take all the feedback and go from there.
Sounds good.
Anyone else have any other live questions before we pop off? Should I grow a beard? Edie Lugs, I think you should grow a beard. Yes. That is just my personal opinion, if that's what you were wondering.
Hey, thanks, Vulture. You have a good weekend too, man. So everybody remember, look us up on YouTube if you're not on YouTube right now. Like and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you'll know when we're doing live. And look for all the other cool content from Gala ahead of the game and all these other great things. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, have a great weekend, guys.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye, Ninja Surprise. Bye, Farmer.
Bye, guys.